How do you work to make sure your company is fit for future when it comes to technology? How to get your people on board for change? Hugo Djikgraaf, CTO of Wintershall Dea, shared his reflections in a talk with Ingvild Melland. Hugo Djikgraaf, the CTO of Wintershall Dea, welcome to the ONS Digital Program. It's a great pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Good to see you again, Ingvild, and thanks a lot for the invitation to talk today.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you with us. And let's just jump right into it. I mean, you're in Wintershall Dea, and you're kind of the leading independent gas and oil company of Europe. And your responsibility is on technology. How do you work to make sure that the company is future fit with the right technology for the future?
Well, before I dive into technology, allow me to say two words around ONS. It's wonderful to see that ONS is actually happening this year, even though it's in a different form. It's great to participate in the ONS conference committee. And actually, it's the first time for me since 5 consecutive ONSs while I was living in Norway to see it happening from outside Norway. But I think the standard for the future virtual conference will probably be set again by ONS. So I'm really excited to look at how ONS will pan out this time. You mentioned technology, Ingvild, and our company, Wintershall Dea, is indeed driven by technology and innovation. We aim to be a top-notch operator with strong technical skills, experts in the most demanding fields, really, and invest especially in innovation. Technology is our bread and butter, if you like. Whether it's applying our subsea and project management experience here in Norway, whether it's applying our sour gas experience in Abu Dhabi, whether it's applying our unconventional experience in Argentina, technology is really where it all turns around. For me, it's about 2 things. 1 is strategy, and 2 is a robust portfolio. So, value creation and exploration, having a healthy portfolio of prospects, execute field developments flawlessly, and ensure we have a low-cost and robust production portfolio. And we have actually one of the lowest costs in the industry when it comes to specific production costs. When we think about technology, it's also about how do we use technology to improve ourselves. And one example here is exploration, where we've seen great success this year. 9 out of 10 wells have been successful, in particular in play opening discoveries in Mexico, but also again here in Norway. When we talk about innovation, we like to stress, for instance, digital solutions, really. Again, for instance, in Norway, in Brage, where we have special algorithms to improve production performance. And that's really quite exciting stuff. When it comes to continuous improvement and excellence, we think about project delivery, like Dvalin and Nova in Norway. And finally, for me, technology is very much around people. So investing in our own people and their expertise, but also in maintaining close partnerships, whether that's with some of the leading contractors that we work with, some of the very well-known ones, but also when it comes to cooperation with universities like Karlsruhe Institute of Technology for Hydrogen, or external innovators like startups, really.
Thank you, Hugo. I'm sure the technology is on your front of your mind all the time. But I want to dig on what you say about digital technology. We all know that there is a digital revolution going on in the oil, gas, and energy sector as such. And what has been your greatest learning trying to really push these processes forward in the company? And do you think you and the other companies are moving fast enough?
I think, let's start this way. Digitalization is a powerful transformation. That is, if you get it right. I think I would like to share 3 learnings, really, that we've observed so far. One of them is that you really need to focus on I would call it, the user need. What do the colleagues really need? So the operator offshore, what's he or she really lacking? The geologist working on an exciting exploration prospect. etc. So the user need is crucial. Secondly, how do we take the people with us? Digital is really about redesigning processes and ways of working. So in order to get the most out of it, you need to get the people along on the journey. And thirdly, we should focus on solutions that really drive measurable and sustainable improvements. And I like to think about digitalization needs to focus on the core parts of the business. So on exploration, on field development, and on production. And obviously, overall on improving safety performance and environmental protection. If you want an example, we have an exciting tool developed, what we call Exploration Advisory Tool. It basically uses artificial intelligence. We developed it together with IBM. Work is still ongoing, but basically what it does, it generates better, more reliable and faster data, which helps us in getting the lead times to drilling exploration wells shorter and also increasing the chance of success. Do we as an industry and as Wintershall Dea go fast enough? I would say yes. We are going at the right pace.
You mentioned that digitalization needs to focus on kind of the user experience and the core part of the business. And you mentioned exploration. And at the same time, you mentioned a very strong track record of 9 of 10 wells being successful over the last year. So I hope the digitalization has really pushed to help you succeed that. But I want to jump over to Norway, because you've been in Norway for a long time. And hopefully you will also continue to drill successful wells.
Yeah, you got a small blip, but I think I believe you asked about Norway. I can give you a short update about where we are in Norway and the importance of us on our portfolio. So we've been active in Norway for 4 decades. We're the 3rd largest gas producer, and we're very proud to be there. 150,000 BOE per day. Currently, production is growing significantly over the next few years. We're in, I think, over 100 licenses in exploration and production. We have drilled a number of successful exploration wells earlier this year. There's, I think, up to 5 more wells coming later this year. Operator of Nova and Dvalin major projects, but also things like Brage, where we just delivered a 9-kilometer step-out well, which was a great success. Power from shore implementations, a floating wind farm that we are participating in. In a nutshell, Norway is super, super crucially important for us. To give some examples, maybe, I mentioned Dvalin briefly. It's very exciting for me as I'm responsible for major projects. And Dvalin, of course, in a way is a pioneering project because it was together with Aasta Hansteen, where we also partner in, the enabler for the Polarled pipeline, which opened up the whole new gas province. Project excellence is crucial. We have a special setup in major projects in Norway, what we call one team approach, so close cooperation between partners, contractors, suppliers in one, and also direct senior management support to ensure that any potential silos or barriers are eliminated. So Norway, to come back to Norway overall, Norway is super crucially important for the company. It has been for many years, and it will definitely be so for many more years.
One of the things that is really clear in Norway, that there is a strong pressure to reduce the emissions and deliver on the kind of the climate agenda. And that's, of course, also a global ambition. How do you work as a company to really do your part? And so what are you doing to deliver on the climate action?
Yeah, of course, a crucially important topic. At Wintershall Dea, we are very clear. Climate change is real. The global energy transition is happening, and we are 100% committed to play a crucial and important role into it. Let me say 3 things on that. Firstly, how do we deal with it? Gas. We are a deliberate gas-weighted company. In fact, you could call us a gas and oil company. And gas is the cleanest conventional source. It has a major role to play in replacing coal, and maybe also when we talk about pipeline gas to also partially replace LNG. Two, we need to produce extremely efficiently, and we are doing so. And one example is when you see that in the very low specific cost that we have, but also in the uptime of our fields. And also energy use in our fields. We're implementing a lot of measures here and have some exciting projects, which we will not go into details. And thirdly and lastly, we're investing in innovation. And particularly there, we're talking around two things. One is hydrogen and one is CCS. And I think both of them can play a crucial and critical role in the energy transition. And as a German-based company, and Germany being the largest emitter of CO2 in Europe, we are in a unique position to play an important role there.
You mentioned hydrogen, and you're German and you're strong in Europe, and Europe has a clear passion and clear road on the European Green Deal. How does the picture on hydrogen look from your point of view?
Well, hydrogen can be a key to energy security and energy transition. I'm convinced about that. And I believe that there is a very strong role, especially around transformation from natural gas into hydrogen. And for our company, I see two potential elements that we're exploring. One is what we call blue hydrogen, so produced from natural gas in combination with CCS. And secondly is what people tend to call turquoise hydrogen. So that's hydrogen produced through methane pyrolysis with natural gas separated into hydrogen and solid carbon. And in both these areas, we are working. Earlier this year, we set up a hydrogen and carbon management organization to make sure that we have real focus and leadership on this important topic, and to build up our know-how, capabilities, and drive projects. And we are involved in a number of projects. So one of them is the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology partnership, where we are working together in methane pyrolysis, but also on the CCS side. So we are participating in the Green Sands CCS project offshore Denmark. We're doing feasibility studies, for example, on the Brage field in Norway. And we're also evaluating options in our joint venture in the Netherlands, where that joint venture operates about 25 fields, fairly close to shore, very close to industrial areas in the, for instance, Rotterdam or Amsterdam areas. And we see a lot of potential there. So to come back to the question, hydrogen is a very important area where we're investing in, we're building our presence, and we see it as a crucial step into the future.
I know that both Wintershall Dea and there's a lot of other energy companies really dedicated to deliver on the hydrogen. So let's hope we are able to create a market and build a market for that. Now I'm jumping over to the leadership part of it. It's been a couple of rough months. I mean, you have low oil prices, you have a very serious situation with the pandemic. How do you think this has changed us? Will we see long-term effects?
It has been different in the last few months, obviously. And I would like to start by saying that our people, and I would say our industry, has done a worldwide fantastic job in managing this under difficult circumstances. For Wintershall Dea, our early investments in digital infrastructure have really paid out. And I'm personally positively surprised how good our projects actually run, how our production is running. And I think to a great degree, that is because of the technology tools, the collaboration tools that we have, but also people. People have been brave and highly adaptive in making the switch, this kind of instantaneous switch to a completely 100% home office work. And again, I think there are many examples of companies that have managed that well, and I think Wintershall Dea is one of them. And I think that is a great proof of trust and care between leadership, the teams, and all the colleagues in the company. In terms of the future, we call it new ways of working. I think it's a process. Yeah, it's a way of thinking. It's a way of working. We have are working on many new methods, Scrum techniques, agile ways of working, innovation processes, new digital solutions. And frankly, I think the world is different than it was 6 months ago, and I don't see that we go back to a world of before 6 months, even if the situation normalizes, hopefully soon in the near future.
Hugo, you are responsible for technology, but I hear you all the time coming back to the people, that the core is the people. So I want to close with that no matter what you're going to deliver, it's the people who needs to be with you on the way. Thank you, Hugo, for joining us. It was a great pleasure.
Thank you very much, Ingrid. Looking forward to ONS.